Today on Investigate TV Plus, spotting the spoof. They're social media posts that look real and sound convincing.
I respect you for your patience and understanding since we crossed paths.
But with advances in technology, seeing is no longer believing.
We're living in a scary time because publicly available generative AI tools have gotten really good.
We examine a new era of scams in the digital age, explain the truth behind the trickery, and provide solutions to help you detect a deepfake.
Then, some tout driverless cars as the future of transportation, but these robots on the road have a present-day problem.
Then I saw the Waymo changing lane, driving towards me.
That must have been kind of scary.
It is scary.
We investigate crashes involving autonomous vehicles, dig deeper into the results of a federal safety investigation, and tell you what to do if you collide with one.
And a rare bird that once faced extinction finds new life. We explore the efforts behind a remarkable recovery.
In-depth stories that inform and inspire. You're watching Investigate TV Plus.
If you get a friend request from what appears to be a famous actor or sports star, it's probably fake. But what if they also send you a personalized photo or video? I'm T. Chappelle.
And I'm Lee Zurich. There was a time when if you saw a photograph or video with your own eyes, it could be trusted. But deepfake technology is becoming more sophisticated by the day, making it harder to tell what's real from what's fake.
A deepfake uses sophisticated AI to create highly convincing audio, images, text, or videos that look, sound, and act like real people. While sometimes used for fun, cybersecurity experts say deepfakes are increasingly employed for more malicious purposes, such as misinformation or scams. In just the first few months of 2025, deepfake-enabled fraud caused $200 million in financial losses.
Investigative reporter Brendan Keefe takes an in-depth look at the technology and provides solutions to help you spot the fraud.
What is real? Who can you trust? Seeing is no longer believing when your own eyes can deceive you.
A lot of AI-generated fake Braves fan pages.
Ray Waldheim runs Atlanta Braves Chop Live, a verified fan page with 250,000 followers.
And so there's several pages out there. Every single thing they post is fake.
Ray and co-founder Sean O'Malley constantly see fake photos of real players on other pages with names like Braves Dugout and Tomahawk Territory.
Fake pages are posting the same exact stories with different players. Austin Riley giving away his old pickup truck to his old janitor. And then I saw on a football page, a football player giving away his old same pickup truck, giving it to his old janitor.
What are some of the AI-generated Braves images you've seen?
Braves players are actually in their game gear. Post-game, they went out and were helping flood victims and carry people out of the floodwaters.
Go Braves on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Braves first baseman Matt Olson really does help children and various charities.
Create some change and help some people.
But these photos of Olson and right fielder Ronald Acuna in the Texas floods are AI.
If I can get you thinking emotionally, you're not thinking rationally.
Professor David Schweidel is the top AI expert at Emory University's Goizueta Business School.
We're living in a scary time because publicly available generative AI tools have gotten really good very quickly.
All it takes is a simple text prompt. Create a photorealistic image of Kansas City Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes rescuing an otter.
As real as your own reflection in the mirror. A digital clone, but one that someone else controls. Scammers can make you say whatever they want. And that deep fake is so convincing, it can trick your closest relatives into sending money to strangers. Now the scammers are cloning public figures. I know firsthand because they did it to me.
Here's my TV station ID, except it isn't, not even close. After I saved a widow from getting scammed by a fake Air Force officer by sharing the real interview I did with the former 4-star general and his wife, the scammers sent her an email supposedly from me, saying I was wrong and don't tell my bosses. They offered this AI-generated press credential as proof they were me.
Hello, Sunshine. I'm making this video so you know I'm real and will never do anything to hurt you.
That's not Owen Wilson. AI can now easily fake video and audio, too.
The person being featured isn't partnering with the people posting this. They're victims just like everyone else in this, in that their likeness is being ripped off.
What can I do to protect myself?
I think you've just got to use a little common sense, inviting you to direct personal messaging or clicking on a link for more info to a story.
Spend the few clicks that you need to say, okay, this page that I'm looking at, when was it created? Where is it based out of? What size following does it have? Like, do your due diligence.
The scammers are now throwing AI curveballs. It's up to us not to swing at every pitch.
Another form of artificial intelligence aims to make the roads safer for everyone.
But our investigation found driverless cars still have some very human flaws. Up next, we hit the highway with Waymo, show what happens when one is involved in a crash, and provide insight into efforts to help humans and robots share the road safely.
It's a ride share without the small talk. Self-driving cars are on the road in several major cities, including Los Angeles, the San Francisco Bay Area, and Phoenix. The cars are equipped with sensors, cameras, and AI that allow them to navigate the roads all on their own. No human driver required. And like their human counterparts, driverless cars sometimes get involved in collisions.
In Arizona, for example, between 2021 and 2024, federal records show Waymos have been involved in at least 202 crashes, including minor fender benders and 31 injury collisions. But the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration's database is heavily redacted and does not say how often the Waymos are at fault. We did our own digging and found during a 6-month period, 71 crashes were reported to police in the Phoenix service area, but Waymo was found at fault, not ticketed, in just 13% of those cases.
Investigative reporter Derek Stahl takes an in-depth look at the crashes and the solutions to make the road safer for drivers in driverless vehicles.
I mean, this is the middle of Scottsdale, basically.
Yeah, this is the heart.
Jafar Yassin brought us to the spot in Old Town Scottsdale, where he encountered a Waymo in October coming straight at him.
Then I saw the Waymo changing lane, driving towards me.
That must have been kind of scary.
It is scary, especially when I saw it's a Waymo, and I know this is a computer. It's not a human being, you know. This is AI.
According to Scottsdale police, the Waymo crossed the double yellow line right here and hit Yassin's car at slow speed. Then it kept going, scratching the driver's side. Photos at the scene show the Waymo, which had a passenger in the wrong lane.
Do you think a human driver would have done this?
Of course not. Of course not. Especially in a crowded situation like this. I gotta call it reckless.
Police faulted the Waymo, but just how often are Waymos to blame?
So first, I just want to say that the standard today is not perfection.
Camille Dredge is Waymo's senior director for ride-hail operations.
So collisions will, and they will, and can occur. We are absolutely prepared to respond to them.
She cited the company's own safety research, which found Waymos were involved in 81% fewer injury crashes than human drivers and had 88% fewer property damage claims. Did not include cases where a confused Waymo caused other vehicles to crash and the Waymo wasn't touched, something we stumbled on in this report. We also found cases where Waymos caused wrecks that police thought were worthy of a ticket.
Pulled up to a red light and then boom, we got hit from behind pretty darn hard.
What was the damage like?
It totaled the car.
Joel Kaspers was on his way to the movies when he got rear-ended by a Waymo while stopping for a red light on Chandler Boulevard in 2021.
With everybody else just stopped, and as soon as I stopped, that's when we got like rear-ended, and it was pretty hard. They must have been doing 30, it seemed like, because it knocked us into the center of the intersection.
Wow. The officer wrote, at this time, the Waymo was not issued a citation since the Waymo was in autonomous mode and no person was inside the vehicle at the time of the crash.
Do you think Waymos should get tickets?
Well, I thought they would have issued the handler the ticket or the corporation a ticket. But the fact that they couldn't do it because there's nobody in the car, somebody should have got something.
Right, does that seem fair?
No.
I got a unmanned vehicle that was kind of taken off from me. It's a Waymo car.
Last June, a Phoenix police officer pulled over a Waymo for crossing into oncoming traffic, but instead of writing a ticket,
Hi!
Connected to rider support.
The officer spoke with rider support.
You know the construction here? Yeah. It was eastbound in the westbound lanes, which is real bad.
Some drivers might think it's unfair that a Waymo can't get a ticket, an AV. How do you think about that, and maybe more broadly, the purpose of citations and the purpose of tickets?
Well, I mean, we abide by the same rules that any road user abides by. So we have instances where we have had parking citations, and so that does exist. I don't know exactly the incident you're talking about. I haven't actually reviewed the video. I do know that the vehicle, when it would be pulled over, would work to pull over to a safe spot and then interact with law enforcement that way.
Have you ever ridden in a Waymo vehicle?
No, I have not.
Do you intend to?
No, I do not.
Joel Kaspers and Jafar Yassin aren't convinced.
I don't think it's ready yet, for sure. They're not ready yet to be. I mean, I feel they're dangerous.
In July 2025, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration closed a 14-month investigation into a series of minor collisions and unexpected behavior from Waymo without taking further action. NHTSA cited 2 recalls issued by Waymo in their decision, including a 2024 recall to address a collision with a wooden utility pole in Phoenix, and a May 2025 recall of more than 1,200 vehicles that updated software to improve detection and avoidance of roadway barriers. In response to NHTSA, a Waymo spokesperson said the company is committed to prioritizing safety, and we're pleased that NHTSA concluded their investigation and closed our case. In Phoenix, I'm Derek Stahl.
Still ahead, they're doing it for the birds. An endangered woodpecker is getting a second chance. We show you some of the work that went into an inspiring comeback.
But first, a Lincoln legend.
Do you have any doubt that Abraham Lincoln was born here?
I have no doubt that Abraham Lincoln was born in this county.
The county she's talking about is not in Kentucky or even Illinois. We take you to a museum challenging the history books and let you decide. He's known as Honest Abe, but some say the story behind President Abraham Lincoln's birth is less than truthful.
History tells us President Lincoln was born on February 12, 1809 in a log cabin in Kentucky. His parents were Thomas Lincoln and Nancy Hanks Lincoln.
However, some, including historians, question whether that's fact. They argue Lincoln was born 4 years earlier in Rutherford County, North Carolina. His father, a man named Abraham Inlow.
Reporter Jamie Bold takes us to a museum in North Carolina and examines the evidence showing Lincoln is actually a Tar Heel.
Down this winding road, cutting through the woods of Rutherford County, you'll find a tale born here along Puzzle Creek. To hear it, you need to head a mile or so into the old rail town of Bostic, where Main Street meets Depot.
Right out in Bostic, there's a sign that says Bostic Lincoln Museum, and it has Abraham Lincoln's face and a big tall hat on it, and I thought I'd run off the road. So what is Lincoln doing in North Carolina?
Elizabeth Morgan isn't the first to wonder.
Well, this is the main room.
But her curiosity didn't just lead to a visit, it led her to volunteer at the Bostic Lincoln Center.
So we have quite a few things brought to us because we are the only museum in town.
It's a museum challenging the history books that the nation's 16th president wasn't born in Kentucky, he was born here in North Carolina.
That is the question, right?
That is the question.
Do you solve that here?
Mm-hmm. Well, we examine the evidence that we have had presented, and most of that evidence is folklore.
shared through the generations, first pieced together by the late Tom Melton, a longtime Rutherford County educator.
He was the keeper of the story.
Lynn Wall is his niece.
He and other people that were interested in the story would travel and they would get a lot of oral history, and we have that documented on a video. And then they would also write things down, and he was just a real good historian. And he loved to tell the story, believe me. He would tell you a lot.
The story is one of hardship and, frankly, scandal. It's largely the story of Lincoln's mother, Nancy Hanks. In the late 1700s, her single mom with no way to support her sent her to live and work with Rutherford County landowner Abraham Enlow and his family.
What did she do for him?
Well, we think she cooked and she just did household chores.
She would eventually become his assistant. She would travel with him on business. And sometime around 1804, she got pregnant.
We believe he sent her west to either after the child was born to provide for her in a more, secretive location, or she chose to go. Eventually, he brought her back, and he brought her back to show her around because people were saying that he had had her killed and the child killed as well.
Shortly thereafter, Tom Lincoln enters this version of history. Enlow is said to have paid him $500 to take responsibility for Nancy and the young boy. They would load up in a wagon, head out of state, and get married.
These people who study folk history will tell you time and again that if there's a consistency and there's no reason to have it made up, those are two of the baselines.
Because if you're looking for documents like, say, a birth certificate, there are none. But there is a curious couple of photos of Abraham Enlow's son, Wesley. He's unusually tall and lanky. He looks strikingly similar to what could be his half-brother.
Do you have any doubt that Abraham Lincoln was born here?
I have no doubt that Abraham Lincoln was born in this county.
It's a mystery, but it's, and like I said, it's a mystery that I think is solvable.
How? DNA. Enlow descendants have provided it. The government has remains of Lincoln. There's a petition at the museum you can sign asking for the okay to have it tested, to settle history once and for all.
You know, I lived in North Carolina for nearly 20 years and have never heard that story before.
Never heard it, really?
Never heard it.
I'd say going into it, I was like, I don't know about this. But then you watch it and like, it kind of makes sense. The facts seem to add up.
DNA testing is the answer.
They need to run that DNA test. I agree, yes. We'll see. All right, up next, back from the brink, we tag along as biologists track a rare bird.
For more than 4 decades, the red-cockaded woodpecker, or RCW, lived on the edge of extinction.
Reporter Dave McNamara shows how central Louisiana is playing a role in its comeback.
We turn off the highway and drive a couple of miles on gravel road through the tall longleaf pines of Louisiana's Kisatchie National Forest. This area in Vernon Parish is home to the once endangered red-cockaded woodpecker. But now the small woodpecker is making a comeback, thanks in part to the efforts of humans. Biologists have been tracking these woodpeckers for years, finding their nests dozens of feet above the ground in the trunks of tall pines. They raise a camera to peek inside.
He's in the cavity.
Oh, wow.
There's the 2 chicks there, looking about 7 days old.
Where's Mama while all this is going on?
She's around. They make a lot of noise and kind of act like they're going to do something, but they never get close to you.
Biologist Christian Cobb is heading up to the nest 25 feet above the ground to carefully grab one of the tiny woodpecker chicks for tagging.
You're going to put your hand over the cavity and it goes dark to them, so they think it's, the mother or the father coming to feed them. And that's when you slip this extraction device in there and cinch it up, pull this little string, and hopefully you've got a chick or two in there. You can see his eyes trying to open, so about 9 days you're going to start seeing that eye open, and then you're starting to see quills beginning to form. So that's a typical characteristics of an 8-day-old chick.
The tiny plastic tags are color-coded, so the bird's movements can be tracked from a distance with binoculars.
That one's 26 grams. Big, healthy bird there.
And we've tracked them in movements as far as a couple of 100 miles.
The federal government reported that the red cockaded woodpecker was on the brink of extinction in the 1970s when it was placed on the endangered species list. The bird's habitat was disappearing as trees were cut for timber, agriculture, and development. But 50 years of forest conservation efforts are paying off.
The red cockaded woodpecker is an indicator that we're doing what we need to do with longleaf, because that's their preferred pine.
There are now 5 times as many clusters of these woodpeckers compared to the 1970s. And in 2024, the bird was downlisted from endangered to threatened.
That tree is healthy, it's going to have bugs. So the healthier they are, the healthier that population is going to be. And of course, they've got to feed these young that we've banded today.
You can hear the tiny birds chirping in their nest high above the ground. It's the sound of success for a once rare bird that is now making a comeback, along with its longleaf pine forest home.
And that's it for us on Investigate TV Plus. I'm Tisha Pell.
And I'm Lee Zurich. Thanks for watching. On the next Investigate TV Plus, sudden cardiac arrest can happen to anyone at any age, and the right response could be the difference between life and death.
When someone goes down, a lot of people think it's a seizure, or they think the person passed out or something, not knowing that potentially the heart has stopped and oxygen is not getting to the brain.
We take an in-depth look at why having a cardiac emergency response plan is critical and how one state's mandate played a role in a teen's survival.